Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. Today we are discussing how Rhaenyra Targaryen is based on Queen Isabella, the She-Wolf of France, Queen of England and wife of Edward II. This video is part of a series I am doing that covers the Accursed King series and comparisons between those characters and the characters that George R.R. Martin created because he cherry-picked a lot of people. Without further ado, let's get on with this comparison. Both women were married young to gay husbands who had no interest in them physically. Rhaenyra, of course, was married to Rhaenyra Targaryen, who had favourites like Sir Joffrey Longmouth and Sir Carl Corys, and Isabella's husband, Edward II, kept favourites who are infamous, Piers Gaveston and Hugh Despenser. Both these men kept their favourites and lovers close, showering them with gifts. It is also important to note that all these favourites died violently. Rhaenyra and Isabella are also both notable because they were high-ranking women of royal blood who had extramarital affairs, something completely unheard of. It also came back to bite them both in the ass later in life. Rhaenyra took Criston Cole and Harwin Strong to bed, if you go by the show, and Isabella, famously and notoriously the most adulterous Queen of England, went to war against her husband Edward II with her lover Roger Mortimer. Both women were only daughters of powerful kings. Isabella's father was Philip the Fair, and of course Rhaenyra's father was Viserys. Both these men spoiled their favourite children, and if you need any evidence of this, simply look at both these women's tastes in clothes and jewellery. Isabella's marriage trousseau was enormous, and Rhaenyra is well known for loving extravagant clothes even as her body decayed after multiple births. Rhaenyra and Isabella also led powerful court factions, of which they were the figureheads. Rhaenyra, of course, leads the Blacks, and Isabella became the leader of the faction at the English court that deposed King Edward II and his favourite Hugh Despenser. Rhaenyra and Isabella's lovers were also both murdered by members of their close family. Rhaenyra's lover and the father of her sons, Harwin Strong, died in a fire at Harrenhal, with it also killing his father, Lord Lionel Strong. The fire was said to be an accident and blamed on the curse of Harrenhal, but other non-mysticals suspected Prince Daemon Targaryen, whose motives would have been eliminating a rival for the princess's affection. When it comes to Queen Isabella's lover, Roger Mortimer, he was executed for high treason by Isabella's oldest son, Edward III, and though there were many reasons for Lord Mortimer to be executed, the main reason was never spoken aloud: the fact that Roger Mortimer had despoiled the Queen, the King's mother. Their similarities only become stronger when you realise both women were rumoured to have been involved in their husbands' murders. Rhaenyra Targaryen was slain by his friend and lover, Sir Carl, but rumours persist. Sir Carl killed Rhaenyra on behalf of Prince Daemon Targaryen, and we know from the show Daemon and Rhaenyra staged Rhaenyra's death, so in that instance, of course there would be rumours. Whereas in the real world, after his deposition, Edward II was widely believed to have died violently at Berkeley Castle. Rumours suggest at the hands of the newly established regime of his wife, Queen Isabella, and her lover Roger Mortimer. The old king's mere existence created hope of a reinstatement of his power, which threatened Isabella and Mortimer. They had to put an end to that. Both women were more successful dynastically than personally. Their sons became kings, establishing dynasties that carried their blood and DNA into the future. So I have now made 9 points that Rhaenyra and Isabella have a lot in common. I know there are going to be some naysayers out there that say this comparison is untrue because Rhaenyra Targaryen is based on the Empress Matilda, and to them I say, look a little closer at the final details. George R.R. Martin definitely drew some inspiration from the Empress Matilda, the main bit being her giving birth as her father lies dying, and that keeping her from claiming her crown straight away. That is a straight copy and paste job, I am not disputing that. But apart from that little fact, and George R.R. Martin decided to make sure Rhaenyra was never officially crowned queen, something else the Empress Matilda never managed to do. The rest of her story is very closely based on Isabella, the she-wolf of France, Queen of England. Before Isabella took her lover and set herself up against her husband, she was the focus for civil war breaking out when she was refused entry to Leeds Castle, where she was fired upon by archers. This could be related to Rhaenyra's end of rule in King's Landing, when she is under siege in the Red Keep from a mob of citizens. The roles are simply reversed, and one must remember that while Isabella and Mortimer ruled in London, their policies were incredibly unpopular. That was one of the reasons why Edward III found it so easy to topple their government when he came of age. George R.R. Martin also took inspiration from Queen Isabella's story for Queen Alicent later in life, as obviously Rhaenyra is eaten by a dragon, and that can't happen in real life, unfortunately. Alicent and Queen Isabella lived out the end of their days in obscurity, with rumours circulating that both had gone mad. But what do you think? Do you agree with me that this is just another one of George R.R. Martin's cherry-picking incidences from the Accursed King series? I feel I've made my point, but what do you think? Do you think that Rhaenyra is closer to the Empress Matilda, or agree with me that she is closer to Isabella the She-Wolf of France? Leave me a comment with your thoughts below, and like this video because it's the only way the horrible dynastic YouTube algorithm notices me, and subscribe because I have an entire series covering the Accursed King series, every single book, and comparing Accursed King characters to the characters from A Song of Ice and Fire and A House of the Dragon. Until next time, don't get eaten by a dragon. Bye!